guys will probably be touching it. I am the only electrician here.
Okay. Well, and the programming aspect of it, troubleshooting part, as you can see, you got all these covers or arc barriers. This is arc protected. You don't have to have any special clothing on to open this panel up, as long as these are in place, even if it's 277 on it. So, it's easy to come in here. So, you come in one day, a year from now, and you come in at 9 o'clock, and the lights were supposed to turn on at 7, but the lights didn't turn on. Here's what you do in the order that you do it in. First, come in and look on the power supply. You should see these green LED lights here, and that means that the power supply's got voltage. If that's not on, if you look here on the cabinet, the guys have marked the panel number and the circuit number. Okay, so it's panel LA there, and it's circuit 40. Make sure your breaker hadn't tripped. Maybe there was a voltage surge or something caused breaker to trip, lightning strike or something. And once you turn that on, then you should get the green lights there. If you got green lights here, go over to the processor here, and you can see this yellow light blinking. This is what we call a heartbeat light.
No, it's okay. I was just trying to get back where he can see.
That's all right. That's easy enough to do. I give it some more light here too. So you got this heartbeat light here. That should be blinking about once a second. Okay, and that just means that the processor is operating normally.
Okay.
Go over here to this little LCD. This should be going from cabinet 001. 001 is just the address of this panel. These panels are addressable. They work on a digital control network. There's sites where we got a dozen or more of these things networked together, and that's why you can give them different addresses.
Yeah.
If they're networked, each one would have a different address. So cab 001. If these two things aren't happening, the first thing to do is get you a pen and push this reset button right here.
Okay.
Hold that sucker in for about 10 seconds, and the panel, it's got an annunciator on. It's going to start screeching at you. Ignore that. Just press the button for 10 minutes, then let off of it. That forces a software reboot. All the firmware, the bootloader, and the programming resides on this little micro SD card here, and that forces it to reload everything from the bootloader on up from that into the processor. Okay, so if it's gotten corrupted from a voltage surge or whatever, that'll fix your issue.
That keeps me from calling you out every time we have an issue.
Right. Well, and this stuff is pretty easy stuff to do. So you do that, and that's like pushing on the front panel of your desktop PC, pushing that front reset button on it, and having it do a reboot.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work, you give it a minute and a half, couple of minutes, and it doesn't come up the way it's supposed to. It's powered from this Cat 5 cable, from the power supply to this. So there's a little tab back here. You push that in, pull that out. Wait 10 seconds, plug it back in. That's like hitting the power switch on your PC. Okay. When a software reboot doesn't do it. And what that does is it resets the hardware, the chips and stuff on that circuit board in there. If there's a chip that's frozen up and it's not doing anything, that interrupts power to it and forces the chips to reset. And then it reloads the hardware or the software off the SD card as well. Okay? So an incremental kind of thing. If you pop the power on this one, pop the power here too. It's the same thing. Just pull the tab in, pull that cable off, wait 10 seconds, plug this one back in, then plug this one back in. Okay. Now, one of the cool things about this panel that the electricians always like, because you don't have to have this processor operating to be able to get the lights on. You can manually turn these things on and off using these little switches. The thing to do there, if you're going to use these to turn it on and off, put the relays into override with this little switch here, and that makes sure that any remnants of a schedule that's still running, you can't automatically turn them off. And at that point, with this in override and these switches turned on or off, they'll stay in the position you put them manually until you change them manually. Okay? And you do that while you're calling somebody for help. And that way you can always get the lights on in the building for class, right? You can always get the lights on.
Heck yeah, that's cool.
And that gives you a way to get the lights on while you call somebody. The number to call is U.S. Tech Support here. It's a 1-800 number. Call tech support. The first thing they'll ask you for is this inquiry number. This inquiry number identifies the site. It lets them know exactly what's on the site here in terms of equipment. And so at that point, they'll even have your programming. I'll pull a copy of your programming out. Well, they'll have the programming that was in it when I left today.
Yeah.
So that they could pull up the programming, and these guys are sitting at these horseshoe desks with all the Green Max panel, Easy Max, A2000, all these different products that we make, and they're all powered up. They can pull your programming out and load it into the panel they're sitting in front of.
Wow.
That way they're seeing the same thing
Same
here
thing I'm seeing.
that you're seeing. You know, if you need help changing something on the
Oh, yeah.
HDU.
Cool.
Okay? You can kill that now.